Okay, it's gone. I just gotta get it.
We'll cop it. So Lily asked the first question, then Michael asked the second, and I'll ask the third.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Keiki, what was your high school like?
Interesting. I did sing in the operetta type thing. I was a gypsy.
You were a gypsy?
A gypsy life for me. I forget the whole thing.
What does that mean? You were a gypsy?
I was singing.
Oh.
In high school.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Didn't you play basketball too?
I played basketball. That's before I moved to Coreyville.
Okay.
And I played volleyball. I was captain of the volleyball team.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. So it was okay. I was still in foster home. He was undertaker. Anything more you need to know?
Yeah.
What was the biggest change you see in the world now compared to when you were a kid?
What?
What was the biggest change you see in the world now compared to when you were a kid?
Like, what do you think of now is different from kids our age?
Oh, okay. Well, the war was on when I was in high school. So we didn't get any gowns when we graduated. We just wore dresses because of the war effort. You didn't use anything more than you needed. You needed it, for the war.
Huh. So, cause like they don't want to use any of the materials, like that would be unnecessary.
And we'd save yard. I have my ration book still with it. I have it here that showed how many points you could have for a week, or we used to try to save them for one of my brother's girlfriend for a while. She had a car, so we'd save stamps so she could drive the car.
Okay, I want to know this. How did you react when you found out Nanny was pregnant when she was 18?
I was devastated because I didn't have a wedding. I ran off to Elkton, Maryland, and married, just in a suit. And we got someone to take us down because it was your grandfather was in the war. He had got the Bronze Star. He stayed out in a minefield at night because he had a patient there, and they waited till daylight.
Interesting.
It was different.
Were you mad at her? Were you mad at Nanny?
No, I wasn't mad at her. I was hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what is your biggest regret?
But
What is your biggest regret?
that I got married when I did.
How old were you?
I was 21 when Barbara was born, and your grandmother.
That's weird. I'm gonna be 21 in like 2 years. That's weird. I'm gonna be 21 in like 2 years, and that's when you had a kid.
I had no money.
Okay, now one more thing we wanted to ask was like, what is any advice you could give us, or like what's one thing you would want to tell us?
Well, I think it's scary today, and I hope you'll all be safe when I'm gone.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. promising.
Any more?
I think that's all.
That's all.
Oh, you didn't ask me a lot of questions.
We only had a couple.
I had more.
Alright. How did you two meet?
Should I take this one?
You take that one.
We rented the same apartment building. It was a farmhouse in Willow Street, and he was renting downstairs, and I was renting upstairs. And I had to go outside, down the steps, and into the basement to do my laundry. And I was doing that, and he was sitting outside on his porch. And he started talking to me, and he asked me if I played tennis. And I said, yeah, which I lied because I didn't. And then we just started talking, and I don't know, somehow it came up that he had a date and he needed his shirt ironed, but he didn't have an iron. And I said, well, I'll iron your shirt for your date if you change the oil in my car, because my oil needed changed. So he went with me to Kmart and got the oil, and he changed the oil in my car while I ironed his shirt for a date. And his date came to pick him up, and I was waving at them from the top banister. And after he dropped off his date, he came back upstairs, and that was the end of that.
Cute.
Well, she did leave out some details.
I was just about to ask, Grampy, is that your side of the story?
Well, it was my impression that I had of her. See, I didn't speak to her or know her. And one evening or day, I forget what it was, but all of a sudden she was married. And all this screaming and yelling starts, and all this stuff starts flying out of the second story window. Doorway closed, and I think there was a tire.
Car tire.
I'm not sure.
I threw it out of the window.
There was all sorts of stuff, and Chuck, who was my roommate, we looked at each other, and he says, what do you think of that? And I said, well, wouldn't mind going to bed with her, but I sure wouldn't marry her. I never married her.
Interesting.
That's a true story. I mean, I didn't see, by the time I went and played tennis with him, I wasn't living with my husband anymore.
Mhm.
So this was a couple weeks prior to the other incident. So yeah.
Alright, question 2. If you could live in any era, what would it be?
The era I'm living in.
Era or area?
Era.
Year.
I'm living in what I think is the best time you could possibly live, because it's your generations that are going to start seeing the real effects of climate change and seeing the climate go downhill. The government is increasingly fascist and authoritarian, and the whole level of discourse in politics has sunk several levels since I remember when, like, Richard Nixon was impeached, and both sides of the aisle, the Republicans and the Democrats, realized that the president was breaking the law, and that no one is above the law, and the president should be impeached. Now we have a government who the Republicans seem to go lockstep in whatever what Trump says and does. And I was part of the generation that actually changed things. We stopped the Vietnam War short and brought about a lot of civil rights legislation, as well as the Clean Water Act and various acts that tried to improve the environment. And that has all been negated by President Trump and actually reversed. So I think that my generation was, and also in terms of economic well-being, mine was the last generation where everyone did better better, so to speak, than their parents. And that has been since reversed, and the trend's going the other way. And now there's a great disparity in wealth. There's 1% of the entire population of the earth that owns something like 2/3 of the wealth. And I see this trend continuing, and that's why I feel that I lived in the best era possible. Pay me in.
Well, Grampy and I've talked about this together many times and have said what he just ended with saying, that we would choose to live right here, right now, be as old as we are.
Well, like,
It's the only time that I can say I'm glad I'm my age, because I think I was born in the best of times as well, and I had a relatively easy life. On the flips, it's my turn.
well, you just said something that well, okay, all right. She said area, and I disagree. I would like hightail it down to Costa Rica or
She
something.
didn't say area, we're talking
Yeah,
era.
but you said right here and now.
Yes, this
Okay.
time, not here in this house in this Lancaster era, this
Y-
time,
yes,
right
you
here and now.
Okay.
Anyway, it's my time, right? Okay.
The floor is yours.
So, where was I? Oh, and the other reason I say that is because I'm a firm believer that if you change one thing, then you change everything that follows. And if I wasn't born exactly when I was born, then I wouldn't have you guys in my life, Grampy in my life, Max in my life. Everything would be different, and I wouldn't know if I liked it or not. So, I choose now.
Good answers. Alright, this is the last question. What's your favorite possession, and which grandkid are you willing it to?
My favorite possession, my camera.
Who you willing
Second
to-
half.
Whichever one shows an affinity for photography.
Okay.
Lily is over there raising her hand for the record.
Okay.
My favorite possession is a culmination of them all. I don't have just one, but they're all the same, and those are my music boxes.
Which we're all getting.
And
so,
every grandchild gets a music box.
true.
Now, if it's not grandchild, my favorite possession is and always will be what I wear around my neck. Everybody knows the story of this. I don't have to tell them where this came from and why it means so much to me, but I have promised this to first go to your mother.
That's fair. Mom wants that. Alright. Thank you.
That was only 3
Thank
questions?
you.
Yeah.
You
I
said
thought there were
4.
4.
Oh,
I want another question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is how
I like this now.
this is how I'm ending all my videos.
Okay. I love you too.
Love
I
you.
love you more.
So, I wanted to say, like, if you can give us any advice when we're watching these videos in the future or something, like, what would you want to say?
That I hope when you are watching these in the future, you will probably be like close to being married and having kids of your own. That you will begin to realize what these times meant to me and Grampy, having you here, because you will be a mother and you will maybe be a grandmother, and you'll understand why it meant so much to have us here, to have you here with us. And that you're loved beyond measure. Go ahead.
Well, ditto to that, but I hope that you as my grandchildren will choose the red pill, so to speak, and see our society, our government, and our culture and for what it is, and not chase the dollar, because if you follow that path and you like stuff, there will always be more stuff. And once you realize that the key to happiness is being satisfied with what you have, not what you don't have, and you should count your blessings, but always be aware of forces to pull your strings, because the government is not always what it appears to be, and don't always go with the flow.
Max says, do you have one question for me?
Max, what is your favorite toy?
Toy? Sock toy.
The sock
The
toy.
sock
True.
toy. His favorite thing is the bully stick.
Ew.
In the entire world.
Grampy, would you like to say on camera what the bully stick is?
Oh, what is the bully stick, Grampy?
The bully
The
stick.
bully stick.
The bully stick.
It stinks. It's gross. He loves it, and it is made of
Dried bull penis.
All right.
yum.
And on that note,
On that note, you should
On that
your
note-
video.
love you. Okay, this first one's for Pop Up. What's the biggest trouble you've ever gotten like into?
When I married Barb.
No. How about when you took those signs or whatever at the...
At the house.
No,
For
no,
sale.
no.
The for sale
And
signs.
when you were in high school and the cops came to the door or something?
Oh. I don't know. I can't remember.
You guys took a boat or something?
Oh, that was up at the reservoir.
Yeah, well, tell the story.
The reservoir in Lancaster at the end, it used to really be really high up. And they had a little boat up there. And one night, 3 of us decided to steal the boat. So we got in there and got the, but the thing was during school the next day the cops came and got all 3 of us.
Did you get arrested?
No, but my dad said they come after you one more time and that'll be it. You're out of here.
Okay.
So, it was funny. Boy, that sun is hot, isn't it?
I'll put the umbrella up.
Well, she won't be able to see this.
This one's for Nanny. What makes you the happiest?
Having my family around.
Okay, this one's for Nanny as well. How did Kiki react when you got pregnant?
Her and my dad said that it was up to me what I wanted to do. But she took it pretty good.
This one's for Pop Up. What is something you've always wanted to do?
What was something?
Yeah, that you always wanted to do.
Jump out of an airplane.
Didn't you do that though?
I did. But I waited until I was, 74, 75 years old. I jumped out of an airplane at 13,500 feet up. Is that okay?
Is there anything that you still want to do?
Don't worry about the money, something that you wish you could do.
No, that's what I'm just going to say, you know. No, I've done a lot of things in my life. A heck of a lot. Married
True.
twice, having kids and being around with my other kids and stuff like that. You know, I've done a lot of things. I enjoy my life.
Okay, now the last thing is when we go back and like watch these videos and stuff, give us some advice. Some
Me?
life advice. Anyone.
Oh,
Stay true to yourself.
absolutely.
Hard work will get you to your goals. Always remember your family.
Don't go picking on each other.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
You recording?
Yep. Alright, if you could have done it all over, what job would you have taken up?
Photography.
Okay. How did you
Or
react?
a musician.
Okay. How did you react when you found out you were going to be a dad?
I went in my room and I cried all night. No. I was happy. Of course I was. Good.
What was the best car you've ever owned?
A 1977 Datsun 280Z. Orange. 2+2. Yeah, it was rusted. Oh, here's our salad. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a big salad. Go ahead, Mike.
Alright. What makes you the happiest?
Being with you guys and my
Good
family.
answer. Good answer.
What else would I say? Getting drunk and going fishing?
Maybe. All right, now the last one is, what is some advice, the best advice you could give us?
Best advice I can give you: get up early, work hard, and be honest with people.
Thank you, Dad.
Works out all the time.
That's it.
What's the best way to spend a day?
Yes, eating salad, and I would be in Key West on a boat fishing with a case of beer, listening to Jimmy Buffett.
What's the coolest place you've ever visited?
I visited Hawaii. And I loved it.
Is that your favorite?
Not really, but I didn't go to that many places.
You're going not really. Okay, what was it like growing up with two sisters?
I don't know what to say.
Wait till the crying's done.
It wasn't easy.
Oh, when you were little, how did your family celebrate Christmas?
We got a Christmas tree and Christmas presents like everybody else.
We had a put.
And we had fun.
Oh yeah. How did you feel when Dad went to Colorado when he was in elementary school?
I was
Middle school.
really worried for him. I was so glad when he came back home.
Yeah, because
I'm still here.
we were laughing how we would never let someone that young go by
I
themselves.
know.
No.
And then with like 6 guys.
Yeah. Okay, Graham. That's all.
Oh, good. That wasn't bad.
No.
Okay. What were you looking forward to after college?
Well, for me, like after college, I was married by the time I graduated college in '94. Your dad and I got married, and I was looking forward to him and I being married and eventually starting a family and having kids. And I wanted to teach really badly, but I didn't get a job right away, so I taught preschool. But that turned into a lot of other awesome stuff for me in life.
What's something you've always wanted to do?
Oh boy, the list is so long. I want to drive a NASCAR over 105 miles an hour. I want to go to Italy, or where's the Trevi Fountain at? I want to throw money in the Trevi Fountain. I want to, oh my gosh, there's so many things in my bucket list. I can't think of all of them right now.
Okay.
I want to have grandbabies.
What was your high school life?
I think a lot different than you guys. For me, high school was, like, I liked it. It was fun. But I think too many people got wrapped up in that high school is like, oh my gosh, the best years of your life. And I think people get too wrapped up in that, like college is the best years of your life and your 20s is the best years of your life. I think the best years of your life are while you're living it. And high school for me was fun because I think, you know, I've always been like friends with a wide range of people. In high school I was friends with the druggies, with the preps, with the nerds, with the whatever. And that's where I met my 4 best friends that I still am friends with today. Lisa, Dee, and Shelly. 3. There's 4 of us. And I think it's a hard time. You try to figure yourself out, who you are, what you want to do, and that kind of stuff.
What do you want out of life?
Happiness. I want to be happy. I want my kids to be happy. I want to see you guys happy. I want you to find a passion in your life and be happy with that, and find people, a significant other in your life who adds to your life, not takes away from it, and who lifts you up and makes your life a better life. And
Do you have any
grandchildren.
Do you have any advice for us
Like when we look back on this, or like how you want to be remembered.
I also included yours. What do you want to leave as like almost like a legacy? Like what do you want people to talk about?
Okay. Oh boy, see that gets me a little choked up thinking about that.
It's a loaded question for sure.
It is. It gets me really choked up because
Or you could do the advice.
what I would
Nah,
want,
she needs to cry.
Preferably the legacy.
what I would want you guys to remember from me, I think, is all three of you to know that I want you to just be good people. Like to me in life, it's very important for you to treat others well and to realize that your family, three of you, are very important for each other, and I just want you to be good people and have a kind heart and give back to your community and just be really good kids. And I want you to remember me, that I loved you and that I always tried to have fun and that I always tried to do my best. And when I screwed up, help you realize that I would say I screwed up and try to do better.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, babies.
Well, you want